Hold on to your hats, folks, because Game 2 just sent shockwaves through the NBA playoffs. The Oklahoma City Thunder didn't just beat the Denver Nuggets, they demolished them. We're talking a 124-81 beatdown, a 43-point margin of victory that ties the series at 1-1. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The young Thunder, after a disappointing Game 1 loss, roared back with a vengeance. This series just got very interesting. This wasn't just some fluke. The Thunder dominated from the opening tip-off. They played with a ferocity and hunger that the Nuggets simply couldn't match. The energy was electric at Paycom Center, and you could feel it translate onto the court. The Thunder fed off the crowd, and the Nuggets looked shell-shocked. The Thunder's performance was a clinic in high-energy, team-oriented basketball. They moved the ball with precision, attacked the basket relentlessly, and played suffocating defense. The Nuggets, on the other hand, looked lost. Their offense sputtered, their defense was porous, and their body language screamed frustration. This was a game that will be talked about for a long time, a game that announced to the league that the Thunder are for real. They're young, they're hungry, and they're not afraid of anyone. Buckle up, because this series is just getting started. Game 1 had many wondering if the young Thunder were in over their heads. The Nuggets, led by the Joker himself, Nikola Jokic, had taken Game 1 with relative ease. A 101-89 final score felt even more lopsided than it looked. The Nuggets' experience and championship aspirations seemed poised to make quick work of OKC's playoff debut. But Game 2 flipped the script entirely. This wasn't just about the final score. It was about the way the Thunder controlled the game from start to finish. They set a new NBA playoff record for most points in a half, dropping a staggering 87 points on the Nuggets before halftime. 87! This was a complete 180-degree turn. The Thunder's offense was flowing, their defense was stifling, and their energy was infectious. They played with a swagger and confidence that belied their youth. The Nuggets, meanwhile, looked stunned. Even the most optimistic Thunder fan couldn't have predicted such a dominant response. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The Thunder announced to the league that they belong on this stage. They are here to compete, and they are not going away quietly. This series is far from over. Let's talk about the young core of this Thunder team, because they were absolutely electrifying in Game 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or SGA as we know him, was unstoppable. He was slicing through the Nuggets' defense like a hot knife through butter, finishing with 32 points and dishing out assists like it was second nature. Then there's Chet Holmgren, the rookie sensation who's already making a name for himself with his defensive prowess and highlight reel dunks. He was a force to be reckoned with in the paint, swatting shots and running the floor like a gazelle. And let's not forget Josh Giddey, the Aussie maestro who orchestrated the Thunder's offense to perfection. He was a triple-double threat all night long, finishing with 14 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. This kid is the real deal, folks. The Thunder's young trio put on a show in Game 2, reminding everyone why they're considered one of the most exciting young teams in the league. They played with a joy and a fearlessness that was contagious. They were having fun out there, and it showed. This is just the beginning for these guys, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Nuggets, buried in the avalanche. Where did it all go wrong? Let's be honest, the Nuggets looked like a completely different team in Game 2. The offensive firepower that had them cruising in Game 1 vanished. They shot a dismal 37% from the field, and an even worse 6 for 29 from beyond the arc. That's not going to cut it against anyone in the playoffs, let alone a team as hungry and athletic as the Thunder. Turnovers were another major issue for Denver. They coughed up the ball 18 times, gifting the Thunder easy transition buckets and disrupting any offensive rhythm they were trying to establish. When you're giving a team like OKC extra possessions, you're asking for trouble. Even Nikola Jokic, the reigning MVP, looked out of sorts. He couldn't find his usual scoring touch, and the Thunder did a fantastic job of making him work for every point. Jamal Murray, who had a stellar Game 1, couldn't find his shot either. The Nuggets bench, which had been a strength in the regular season, was non-existent in Game 2. They were outscored by the Thunder's bench by a significant margin, further highlighting Denver's struggles. This was a night to forget for the Nuggets. They looked flat, uninspired, and frankly outclassed. They need to regroup quickly and figure out what went wrong if they want to regain control of this series. The pressure is on. Twitter sphere explodes, from shock to memes. You know it's a wild night in the NBA when Twitter can't even handle it. The reactions to the Thunder's blowout win were priceless. Disbelief, shock, and of course the memes flowed like wine. Did the Nuggets even get off the bus? Was a common sentiment echoing across the internet. Others were quick to crown the Thunder as the new darlings of the playoffs. One user even compared Jokic's performance to a Roomba spinning around aimlessly. I'll admit I laughed. Even Patrick Beverley chimed in, questioning the officiating and suggesting the Nuggets were getting a raw deal. But hey, that's what makes the NBA playoffs so great. The unexpected can happen, and when it does, the internet is there to capture every hilarious moment. One thing's for sure, nobody saw this coming. The Thunder have everyone's attention now. Back to the peak, can Denver weather the storm in Game 3? The series shifts back to Oklahoma City for Game 3, and you can bet that Paycom Center is going to be rocking. The Thunder faithful are energized, and rightfully so. Their young team just made a statement, and now they have a chance to seize control of the series. But let's not count out the Nuggets just yet. This is a veteran team with championship aspirations. They've been in tough spots before, and they have the talent to bounce back. The question is, can they adjust? The Nuggets need to find a way to slow down the Thunder's high-octane offense. They need to take care of the ball, hit their shots, and get Jokic going early and often. They also need to match the Thunder's intensity and physicality. Game 3 is a must-win for the Nuggets. Another loss, and they'll be facing a daunting 2-1 deficit heading into Game 4. The pressure is on, and it'll be fascinating to see how they respond. Series shifting, the Thunder make their stand. Game 2 wasn't just a win, it was a declaration. The Thunder announced to the league that they are a force to be reckoned with. They're not just happy to be here, they're here to compete. They believe they can win this series, and after witnessing their performance in Game 2, it's hard to argue with them. This series is far from over. The Nuggets are a proud team, and they'll be looking to bounce back in a major way in Game 3. But the Thunder have shown that they're not afraid of the moment. They're embracing the challenge, and they're playing with a freedom and a joy that's infectious. This is what the NBA playoffs are all about. The drama, the intensity, the unexpected. The Thunder have injected a much-needed dose of excitement into the postseason, and I, for one, can't wait to see what they do next. Get your popcorn ready, folks, because this series is about to get really good.